Hi there, I'm Neenah. You're very welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm using a Sunny Studio stamp set called Holiday Style. I have been trying to get my hands on this set for 4 years. Several crafters 4 years ago did great videos with this stamp set and I was really taken with it. This is it. It has this branch in it and an ornament and a bow and some great sentiments. But it's this bell that really caught my eye 4 years ago. And it was worth waiting for because I am thrilled to have it now. There are 3 pieces to this bell. There's a solid layer and 2 others. This is the middle layer. The inks I'm using are Tranquility inks from Altenew, and this one is called Nimbus. I double stamp everything, and now I'm doing the 3rd layer. I'm using Dark Night. The 3rd layer I'm going to use is the solid layer, and I'm using Misty Morning. I do show later another combination of inks that I used to create this bell. And look at that, isn't that stunning? I just love it. It shines on the paper. Trimming off to compensate for my poor die cutting. I'm showing here that it doesn't matter in what sequence you use the stamps. I started with the solid layer, then I used the 3rd layer and then the 2nd one, and it looks just as good. And in the stamp set, you get this little hook. You can snip it and fit it over the ornament. I punched a hole in that one, but you don't have to. The die doesn't cut the hole. You just snip the little hook, or the opposite end to the hook, and slide it over the top of the die cut bell, and it looks beautiful. But this is what I like to do. Now you'd probably say, Una, for goodness sake, it's just fine the way it is, but it's always nice when you can do something extra. So I punch a hole in the die cut bell, then I'm able to insert the hook. It just does it for me. The ornament I stamp with 2 inks from Altenew, Coral Berry and Ruby Red. I double stamp the Coral Berry, 1 layer of the Ruby Red. When I was editing this, I noticed the shape of the stamp in particular is just like a crescent moon. You could use this for other projects all year round. I'm using a Tsukaneko Galaxy Gold ink to colour the little piece that fits on the top of the ornament. You die cut them separately and then adhere them together. I'm just showing you here that I can use these stamps in any order. I'm using 2 Altenew inks there as well, Warm Sunshine and Toffee, I think. I list my supplies down below. Now I'm doing the branch, and I'm using watercolor paper. It's Crafter's Companion, and it's a nice bright white paper. And I decide to use my Zig markers. You could use inks to stamp this, but I thought I'd go with watercolor markers. I choose from my swatch cards the green and the brown that I'm going to use, and I just paint the brush marker onto the stamp. This paper has a very strong tooth. I have to ink up the stamp several times. But that's not a problem, and you see it building up and it looks gorgeous, adding extra bits and pieces where I think they're needed. When I'm satisfied with the way it looks, I take it away and cut it out in my Gemini Junior. Originally my plan was to use this panel, but I changed my mind later. These are the other inks that I want to show you will do the bell beautifully as well. They're Hero Arts inks, and I'll link to them down below. And I'm drawing a hook, not a hook, a hanging thread for the ornament, because I want them hanging at different lengths on my card. So I needed to do one myself. I'm just snipping one and sliding it over the top of the ornament. Looks beautiful. And I'm showing what extra I did to hang my bell on the tree. I cut 2 separate hooks, snipped the ends off them, cut into the piece where I'd have to hang it because, you know, like I showed you before, that needs to be snipped off or you won't be able to get it into the bell, or in this case onto the tree. I adhere them together and I end up with this little piece, and I was delighted with that. I cut out the inside piece of the ornament hanger and I cut out the string that I drew myself. And this is the way I arranged them on the card. Now I'm just showing you here that you can use the sentiments that are in the stamp set to add a very nice greeting on the card, wishing you peace, love and joy, and you can die cut the word joy. But I decided to do something different for this card. In 2020, I want to send a very special message to people. I'm adding some dimension to the back of the branch, not to the whole branch, but just to the top part. So I add 3 layers of card. And when I had done that, I also put 3 layers of card onto the back of the bell. To adhere the ornament, I put one side of the string coming down over the top of the ornament. Then I used the other piece and I had cut it so that it would look like it was coming from behind the branch and meeting the string just at the top of the ornament. And I thought that looked really nice, very realistic little touch. And I snipped a piece out of that one as well so that it would look as if it was hanging around the branch. This piece is from an Altenew set. It's been out a couple of years. It came as part of a wreath set, and I just love it. I love that word. Wishing you peace. Just what I want to say on my holiday cards, on my Christmas cards this year. And that's looking lovely. This tool is a simple circle creator, and the designer is Kathia Calanine. You'll find her channel here on YouTube and I'll link to it down below. Do check her out. She's an amazing creative artist. You adhere the panel onto the circle creator and then you just turn it in your stamping tool. I will link to another video I made detailing how to use this simple creator tool. And I'm going to use the Tranquility inks again. I really like the way they create the bell. I start with the middle image and you see, just turn the tool. Very simple way to create a circle or a wreath pattern, and you can do such large sizes. It's wonderful. I can fill the full front of one of my Papermania square card bases. They're 5 1/4 inch square. Then the middle layer, the base layer I do next, the solid image with the Misty morning. And then I do the top layer, the one that really makes it spring to life. And you can see it doesn't matter which image you want to stamp. You just turn this tool and it's very easy to find your place. Very satisfactory way, as I say, to create a circular pattern. So I'm finished, and look at this. No, I don't recommend the dots, the removable dots that I used to hold this panel down. Kathia recommends adhesive tape, removable tape. That's certainly the way to go. I might try snipping small bits of those removable dots. Maybe if it wasn't stuck down so fast, it would come away easily. But anyway, what's this? This is perfectly penned from Concord and 9th. I have this for years and I really, really like it. I use it when I don't have a stamp that has the sentiment that I want to put on a card. And so I decided I would write Jingle Bells myself. I slowed down there in the beginning so that you could see what it was like in real time. But even though this is speeded up, I didn't edit the video, and you can see that I'm not having to stop. I just keep on going. I finish the word bells with my multi-liner. That's looking really good. I didn't really know if I was going to make an absolute pig's ear of the card by doing this. I had no idea whether it would look nice or not, but I decided I'd go for it. When I lifted the lid, I was so relieved. I thought, yes, this is just the look I want. And so I'm just eyeballing there to see what part of the stamp I need to ink up. And I'm liking it more and more. Note to self and anybody watching, don't be afraid to let your creativity flow. I was really pleased in the end that I just went for it. I drew in the strings with my gold Jelly Roll pen. I thought that looked really nice. I was able to remove the panel easily this time. I just put some roller tape on the back. I'm using Studio Katia sequins. This is a lovely gold copper fusion mix of sizes. I thought it added just the right amount of bling. Now that circle was too wide and I didn't have any other circle dies, so I used my compass cutter to cut myself a nice thin circle of red. I thought to complete the Christmassy feel for this card, I just needed a pop of red. This circle cutter is one of the oldest tools in my craft room, and it was perfect in this circumstance to create the circle I needed. Perfect. I was really happy with that. I wonder what you think. I adhered down my panel to my Papermania base, and I'm delighted with it. Those are the cards for today. Now, I won't be back for some time. I'm starting college in 2 weeks' time and I'll be gone for a year, but I will return to paper crafting. It is my absolute passion, and I do hope you've enjoyed my videos. I think I have about 30 or 40 videos on YouTube. I do hope you'll come back in a year's time when I'm back again. I'd like you to subscribe, even though I won't be around for a while. Give this video a thumbs up, that's really important. If you want to talk to me, leave me a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And in the meantime, take great care of yourselves. Bye for now. All the best.